Hmm. What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? As usual, hope doing well. All right, as well as we all can be. It is a Wednesday night, therefore we are doing our Wednesday night chill stream, as if they're not all chill streams at this point. I keep telling myself I'm going to put some thought into the streams, but I'm just not at that point yet. I'm not in that place where like I absolutely positively have the time and the energy to devote to making like extra special streams and things like that. Although I do have an extra special stream tomorrow. It is going to be at 9:30 p.m. EST. I'm going to be talking to Arie. We don't have anything crazy planned, though. We're going to talk a little bit more about what we could do when the time comes. But as of right now, we're probably just going to be catching up a little bit here and there. I'm excited for this because I haven't talked to Arie in 7 or 8 years. It's crazy how long it's been. That hair in my mouth. It's crazy how time flies. You fall out of touch with somebody, and then before you know it, it's been. But before you know it, instead of hair, they have headlines instead. And instead of a hairline that's a little bit more appropriate for someone who's 30 years old, it fucking goes back here and shit like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be talking to Arie tomorrow. He's a really good guy. You know, he's got his quirks and stuff like that. But I'm really happy to be streaming with him. I've been trying to make sure I let him kind of enjoy his newfound notoriety and network with people and stuff like that. I didn't want to like push it and be like, dude, we gotta stream. Dude, let's stream, oh, bro, dude. I just made it known to him, hey, like we definitely should stream together. If you're down and whenever you're ready, just let me know. And he hit me up earlier this week, like, hey, like let's do it, you know. So that's cool, you know. Um, what was I gonna say? But what's going on, Zach? What's going on, Bonjour Skeet? What is going on, Peach Boy Official? What is going on? That is everybody. That is everybody that I can see right now. But what's going on? I hope we're all doing well. Excuse me. Did I miss the stream Scott did with Arie? No, you did not. Just as I said. Just as I said. Um, what's it called? Are we ever going to do War of Rights again? We can do War of Rights soon. We can have a War of Rights day if you want. Like, I could do that Sunday or something like that. I forget if I streamed Sunday. I might have, I might not have. I think I streamed, like, mad late at night on Sunday. But maybe this Sunday will be War of Rights. Maybe this Friday will be War of Rights. I don't know. I don't know 100% because I'm going to stream today. I'm going to stream tomorrow. Then I'm supposed to stream Friday, which, like, I mean, it's not like that's a lot or anything like that. It's just streams, and I do these for fun. But it would be nice to plan something for at least one of those days, or take one of the days to just not stream because look. You guys are already sick of me half the time anyway. People are already sick of me as is, you know. But oh, excuse me. Um, yeah, we'll do War of Rights again soon, though. We will. Um, um, Last time we spoke, you sassed me, Peach. Uh oh, Peach. Peach. What'd you say? What'd you say to my top mod, Zach? Um, Something about I'm a power tripping word or something. Oh, damn. 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 Oh, man. But trying to think of other things to talk about. I've been doing a lot of thinking about a lot of different things. You know, most of the creative stuff that I've been thinking about has not gone to my streams. It's gone towards Patreon content, patron content, and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to kind of put a little bit more effort into, and because of that, I have some videos that are coming out. I have two videos that are going to be coming out for the channel. One of them is going to be on a quick knockout that occurred in a fighting promotion that I've actually fought for before. There's a promotion in Massachusetts. It was up until recently, I think it was the only sanctioned Muay Thai event in Massachusetts, and they couldn't even call it Muay Thai for political reasons. They had to call it Southeast Asian Kickboxing, is what they had to call it. But there was a fight recently within the last month or so where there was a glove touch followed by a quick knockout, and it was a very cheap move. And I wanted to talk about how I think I wanted to talk about something that if you've been watching these, you will know. You will know everything that I have to say about it. But like, I wanted to make a video about it just to kind of put everything into as good of a video as I could. Right? Or to make it as concise as I possibly could. It's not the most like edited video. It's just me ranting at the screen and stuff like that. I'm trying to get a little bit better at that kind of thing, but that's one video that's coming out. And then another video that I have coming out is going to be about the Ohio attack. There was a racist attack on some white people in Ohio. And I wanted to talk about that, not as like a political thing, although I'm thinking about talking about it from a political standpoint, for the Patreon and for YouTube members and stuff like that. But this specific video about the Ohio attack is going to be specific. This specific one that I'm going to be releasing within the next couple of days is going to be more geared towards the self-defense side of it. Excuse me. I could lift a fucking Atlas stone right now, says Bonjour Skeet. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. I gotta fix something. Anyway, what else? What else? Dude, there was some... Oh, yeah, I was gonna talk about what happened on Twitter, but, you know, it's not... It's not, nothing too crazy, you know? Sorry, I'm just trying to pull some stuff together here. But man, like again, like there's the Twitter thing that I can talk about, but then like I'm trying to think if I'm going to talk about the other stuff that I've been thinking about telling people about, thinking about discussing. Another thing that I'm thinking about is how much money you're going to make off that tweet. $200. I wish. I'm not part of the I actually, just out of curiosity, I signed up last night to start getting paid for my tweets. I don't know if it's going to be retroactive, meaning like until I get meaning until I get it's being strange here. YouTube's being a little bit strange on my end. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I applied last night. I don't know if I got approved. I would assume I got approved, but also there was no thing that said like you're approved, you're making money now, or anything like that. It had me go through the like very quick the very quick process to be able to do it, and then it just like it kicked me back to the screen where I had to apply in the first place. But this time, instead of being able to apply, it just I forget exactly what it said. The reason I want to figure this out is because I want to know. Not that, you know, I don't think anybody watching this right now is getting paid for their tweets or anything like that. But I did figure, fuck it, I might as well do it if I can, because why not? Like, why wouldn't I do that? Even if it's like $100 a year or something like that, if I'm lucky, you know. But yeah, it says active programs, creator revenue sharing, so I guess that's cool. So I would assume everything's all good then. I would assume that I can make money now. It says you are on track for payouts, and when I click on it, it says you have no payout history this month. So I don't know what the deal's about to be with that, you know. Hopefully it will be retroactive, because God knows I'm not going to be able to do that again. God knows I ain't going to have a viral tweet like that again. But yes, I did have a viral tweet, and I forget who was saying it. I said somebody saw it. Bonjour Skeet says, crazy how you can just shit on your wife and get 7 million views. I'm mad jelly right now. I know. Like, I knew that was going to be a popular one. That's why I did the that's why I put the picture there. It's because I was like it's not like I was sitting here like, yeah, I'm about to go viral with this. I'm about to get 7 million views on my tweet. That's not what it was. But I knew that, like, oh, as far as my tweets go, this is going to be a popular one. So I'm going to use this picture as a way to increase the viewership of it, because people are attracted to pictures and flashing lights and jangling keys and stuff like that. And because of that, I was like, okay, we'll do the meme, and it'll add to the funniness. I didn't expect it to get that many views though, you know. But like, I wouldn't want to. You see, here's the issue, right? I obviously am actually getting. I have people in my chat right now who are saying things, but it says that I have 0 concurrent viewers on YouTube right now. On like I don't necessarily want to show, because I don't know if that'll like be weird or anything like that. But like, I have it for since 9:10 for the last 4 minutes. It's showing 0 concurrent viewers, even though there's people. What's going on, the Codally, who are talking in my shit, and that's why I'm a little like, oh, what the hell's going on? It says 0 on one of them, but then 5 on the other one, and it's like, which one is it? You know, which one is it? I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but we're being shadow banned. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit. I am shadow banned on Twitter though. Like, I'm that's a very annoying thing. I've been shadow banned for a long time. I do not show the stream screen. Yeah, I don't want to take the chance. I don't want to take the chance, you know. But regardless, when it did take off, if you caught it, which account retweeted it? I don't know if any account retweeted it or anything like that. I don't know if any accounts happened to retweet it. I think it's just so it got so many likes so quickly that it probably just broke containment. Is probably what happened. You know, I would guess is what happened. Excuse me. What was I going to say? In the future, people are going to deny that 6 million people viewed Scott's post. Yeah, but I'm going to say that God promised me that hit tweet however many years ago, 6,000 years ago, however long it was. But yeah, like that was crazy to see that though. You know, it's funny that many people have seen something of mine, even though they're gonna forget about it tomorrow and things like that. That's one thing with bookmarks. Like, I bookmark tweets and then I never will look at them again. Like, that's just what happens with bookmarks, you know. But it's cool to know that happened. It's nice. You know, I can cross it off the bucket list. I went viral. I can cross it off the bucket list. But yeah, my favorite thing was people on both sides of the aisle who were like pissed about it. You had 30-something-year-old women who were like dried up and dusty and shit like that, who were mad. They're saying weird shit like, oh, well, they have that baby boomer sarcasm. They're like, oh, thank God you were there. Oh man, who knows what would have happened if you weren't there? Oh, they would have had to do it themselves. Oh man, oh. And it's like, well, it's not like my crash sense went off and I was like, oh, I better go there. I was invited. I was invited to the car crash, actually, by my wife. But yeah, like, it's just like it's just stupid as hell, people who are like that. And then oh yeah, another thing they were saying is like, dude, you clearly hate your wife, and it's like, no, I don't. I love my wife. She's great. Fucking, it's just that everybody's full of shit, and sometimes when you're married to someone, you're gonna deal with their shit, and you're gonna be like, oh, about it. You're gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? You know, you share a room with this person. You share a bed with this person. Everything that's theirs is yours, and everything that's yours is theirs. Personal space is not what it used to be before you got married, even if you were dating for years and years and stuff like that. When you start living with somebody, you're going to get on each other's nerves. And one of the ways you're going to get on each other's nerves is when situations like that occur, where it's like, oh boy, there's a fucking car crash and now I got to go down there and herd the cats. That's one of the things that you're going to be annoyed by as a man specifically, is shit like that, you know? That doesn't mean you hate your wife. That doesn't mean you think she's stupid or anything like that. It just means that annoying things are fucking annoying. regardless of who it is. But there's a lot of women out there who are like broken, they're just damaged goods. They're like the kind of people that you don't even want to be around as a friend half the time, because they're always going to be taking advantage of you. They're always going to be testing waters, and they're always going to be trying to like make you like them in a way that benefits them, and these women, like, they just can't stand hearing anything negative about women in the most general sense. It's just crazy to see that kind of thing. Ooh, I love my wife. Ooh, I love my wife. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying when I was reading that stuff. I was like, ooh, I love my wife. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I was talking about it on I went live on Instagram and then Twitter last night just to fuck around. Sometimes I'll smoke a black and mild, I'll smoke one of these, and then what will I do? I'll sit on Instagram live, and I'll just like talk to whoever pops in. And I was talking about that yesterday, and like the thing with feminism is that it's like a woman's like men and women, they go through phases in their lives, right? And one of those phases is your teenage angst years. And feminism is what teenage women specifically go through when they are between the ages of like say 12 and like 17 or even 18 or something like that. And if they go to college, it gets extended for another like 4 to 6 years, and eventually you might have one of them that grows out of it. That's not to say that they're not still gonna parrot what they got told in college and stuff like that every now and again. But to be the kind of person who like has to be like a warrior for it on Twitter or something like that, it's arrested development. It's what happens when a woman simply does not mature, like, socially past a certain age. You have imagine if because guys, a lot of us tend to go through that a similar thing where like we realize the world is not all lovey-dovey and like safe and all this other stuff, and because of that we get mad about it, we get a little bit upset, and we might act out because of that. And you see the kids that like the example I use is like if I carved my name into my desk at school and I got sent to the office and the principal asked me why I did it, and my response would be like, dude, society's fucked, man. Dude, society's fucked, bro. You think a desk matters that much? Dude, what about society, dude? Dude, you think that desk is fucked? Society's fucked. What do you think you're doing coming after me when the world is fucked up, dude? Like, that's quite literally the type of shit that women are doing, except instead of it being like my fucking chat keeps getting auto deleted. Says bonjour skeet. I can see it on one of them. There's top chat enabled on my YouTube stream right now. I'm just gonna go over to live chat. I'm wondering if I can see it. But anyway, like that's something that you see from women who never grew past that. They never grew past that state of mind where it's like they're 14 years old and they realize that the boy that they have a crush on is really just a hormonal like horn dog who's just like, yeah, dude, no, I totally like you. I totally want to be your boyfriend. Can we have sex now? Will you touch my dick now, please? And instead of just being like, oh, well, he's just a fucking dude. He just, whatever. Like, guys are like that sometimes. Oh, well, what you gonna do? Especially now we're teenagers. It's gonna happen. Instead of just being chill about it, instead of just being like, no thanks, and then moving on, it has to turn into a social movement, That's what happens with a lot of these women, and that, like, that, I got a lot of that under that tweet. My favorite thing also was I streamed on Monday as well. Excuse me. I streamed on Monday as well, which is when I sent that tweet. And I did a stream on YouTube. I decided I'd do a workout stream because people have asked me to do a workout stream before. And I spent the first half of the stream talking about what happened earlier in that day because it was still fresh. It happened that day, and I was kind of venting about it, right? And this one guy was like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing talking shit about your wife? You're a degenerate, dude." And it's like I'm not one of those horseshoe theory guys. There's a certain truth to the horseshoe theory thing, but it's cringe and it's stupid. And to try and equate the two sides to each other morally is completely and totally like the dumbest thing you could do. They are not the same morally. The left and right are not the same morally. But to sit there and be like, dude, you hate your wife. It's like, no, actually, I love my wife enough as to where I can be honest about when she's pissing me off and still go home to her and give her a big hug and a kiss and, like have a good time talking about whatever's going on in our lives and, plan our future together and all that other stuff, and she is the same way towards me. One thing I don't tolerate is shit talk to people that we know in each other's lives and stuff like that. Like I would never go to one of my friends and be like, dude, my fucking wife is being a bitch. Like I would never do that, that's unacceptable. But like the idea that like I can't complain in a general sense about some stupid thing that happened, and the attitude that I got after on the internet to a bunch of strangers is like, who fucking gives a shit, Um, big time tennis. My wife pisses me off too sometimes, Scott. It's okay. I hate my wife, says Peach Boy Official. I hate your wife more, says Big Time Tennis. I hope everyone's doing all right, by the way. I see some people that I don't recognize. I'm seeing some people that I haven't seen in a while. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you so much, as usual. Thank you for being here. But anyway, yeah, like like marriage is one of those things. It's like certain other things. It's like a fight almost. Not I know the MMA guy wants to make everything about fighting, right? But marriage is almost like fighting in that you will never understand. Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes debate T-10. Is that really going on? That's going to be pretty crazy. But fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, marriage is like fighting, where like unless you've been in an MMA fight, you really don't know what it's all about, and you don't know what it's like. And you can have an idealized picture of what that is in your head. You can have an idea of how it might feel, how it might look, how it might go down. But if you ever actually got into an MMA fight, you're gonna realize that that picture you had in your head is not the way it goes down. Even now, I've been in 3 MMA fights, a couple of kickboxing matches, a boxing match, multiple smokers, like 5 or 6 smokers, which is an exhibition fight essentially. Those don't count towards a record or anything. Every time I think, okay, I'm gonna go in there and here's how it's gonna go, it doesn't go that way. I can game plan, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go in there and he's actually going to throw the punches when I think he's going to throw them. Or more so that I'm going to throw the punches when and where I think I'm going to throw them and how I think I'm going to throw them. And they're going to land the way that I think they're going to land. Like, it doesn't happen that way. It's just not the case, And marriage is one of those things where there's a lot of people who think they have an idea of what makes a good husband, a good wife. And, like, you can be right about that, but it doesn't mean you're completely right. And, if you have this idea that you're going to be like the embodiment of what a husband is supposed to be, I can tell you 100%, you will not. You will start to crack eventually, 3 years, three, 3 years, 3 years into, baby, I need help. Baby, I need help. All right, what's up? What do you need? This thing is not working. All right, well, let me see if I can fix it. It was this. No, you gotta put that there. Hey, you needed my help. Shut up. Don't tell me to shut up. Like, three, 3 years into woman. 3 years into woman, and you're gonna be like, fuck, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. It's it's tough. It's tough. The most picture perfect couple that you have ever seen goes through the same exact thing, and that's not a bad thing. It just is. What's important is that even when you go through that stuff, when you're able to calm down, you're able to look at each other again and be like, hey, sorry about that. Let's move on until the next time we do it, because we're going to do it again, because we're two imperfect people trying to get along with each other when humans suck. People fucking suck, dude. You know? I suck. I suck less than everybody else, though. In fact, actually, I don't even suck. I'm perfect, is what it is. I'm perfect. I'm the best ever. I'm the best ever under any and all circumstances. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But but like that's just the truth of marriage, and that's something that, like, I've been with my wife for 5 years. We got married after, not even after, a little bit under a year into knowing each other. And I would not take that back. I would do it again, you know? And there were times where we both were kind of like, I don't know, maybe we got married too soon. I don't think we got married too soon. I just think we need to get over ourselves. And I think that, there was something that this guy said. I was talking about this last night as well. There was something a guy on YouTube said. You know, early in my marriage, I got curious and I just decided to type into YouTube, like, how to be a better wife, how to be a better husband, and stuff like that. And there was this guy, he was one of those, wannabe cowboy types. He wears like a cowboy type hat. He's got a full beard, you know. He's sitting out on his ranch. He's got like whiskey in his hand and a cigar. Not like an Andrew Tate kind of mogul, but like a dude where it's like, I've been around, son. I've seen a lot of cattle drives in my time, son. Like one of those guys. The type of dude a boomer comes their pants when they see them. You know, like that kind of guy. Like, he did say some shit though that was interesting to me. He said, look, for the first 7 or 8 years of your marriage, you guys are not even gonna like each other. You're gonna have a nice 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years, but there's gonna be a period of time that you guys, it's not that you're not gonna love each other. It's not that you're not gonna like want to be there for each other. No, you're gonna be like, I think I fucking hate this person, you know. And if you can get through that, eventually you realize, oh, wait a second, like I don't. It's not that I hate this person. It's that I have not been doing my best to be able to get along with this person. I haven't been trying my best to be as good as I can be. And that doesn't mean buy flowers and all that other Reddit bullshit. It means that, like, you don't always have to let your wife hear about it when you're upset about something that's stupid and doesn't really matter that much. You know, that's a good example. I have a habit of doing that sometimes, where it's like when she does something that I find annoying, I'm like, no, you can't fucking do that, dude. I told you not to do that, dude. Like, that type of shit, when it's just, I should be like, whatever, bro, fuck it. That's fucking stupid. Just get the shit out of here. Let's go. You know, like that type of shit, you know? Didn't the Clintons say the same thing before he ran for preso? Well, I think they probably meant something a little bit different there, if I'm being honest with you. I think they might have I think they might have meant something a little bit different there, you know? It wouldn't surprise me if Hillary Clinton is a lesbian, truth be told. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. That was most certainly a marriage of political convenience, more so than a love-filled marriage from the way it looks. The way it looks. Guys give good advice for the most part. Yeah, guys, you know. Oh, I know exactly the guy you're talking about. LOL. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Spunkold. It's sudden drastic increase in social labor and responsibility. It's a sudden drastic increase in social labor and responsibility. Yes. That's a good yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, that is a good way to put it. That is a good way to put it. You know, at the end of the day, and Mr. Ferguson, is that you? Mr. Ferguson, is that really you? Is that really you? Is it? Oh boy, I'm gonna answer that question in a minute. BJJ belt level says Yajago. I'm actually a black belt. That's my certificate right there. I'm waiting for someone to mistake this as a college degree, and if and when they do, I'm gonna go with it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, where'd you go to college? Harvard, actually." "Oh, really? What'd you study?" I studied political surgery. I'm just gonna see how much bullshit I can fling their way. But yeah, like, um, when it comes down to it, like people think marriage is gonna be like hanging out with your best friend all the time, but no, like marriage is a responsibility and it's an oath you take in front of God. You know, um, and it's not going to be fun all the time. It's not going to be easy all the time. In fact, most of the time it's not going to. Sometimes I just want to be in a room alone and I don't want to know that like my wife is like out in somewhere else and that she's going to come in here at some point. It's nice to have the place alone sometimes, and I know she feels the exact same way, and that's not because we don't love each other. That's because sometimes solitude, and I mean real solitude, is just nice, right? That's an example of how when you get married, you are sacrificing something. I'm like the happiest days of my life. I spent in a rooming house. We had like 30 something people in that rooming house. Each person had their own room. And there were like three or four bathrooms. One of them was always locked. It was like the girls' bathroom, if you will. And that means there were only like three or four women that ever lived there in the almost half a decade that I lived there personally. And um, shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I had to share bathrooms with like a bunch of drunk, like heroin using, like just fucking weird freaks. The type of people who it, I live here, mind you, but I don't want to sit down on the toilet without putting toilet paper down to make sure that our dicks didn't touch the same place, or to make sure that there isn't piss on the rim or something like that. Like that type of shit. Um, those are some of the happiest days of my life though, because I had my own place where I didn't have to worry about like my parents like kicking the door in, like keep this door open. you know where I didn't have to worry about like, oh, like I have 30 more minutes until somebody comes and I now have to contend with them. um like I would give a lot to have times like that back, but I would not give up my marriage because I love my wife too much. That's just the way it is. But yeah, we can maybe we should talk about marriage at some point, because like a lot of this stuff that I'm saying is like I think it's good. I think it's good stuff, but I didn't expect to be talking about like the reality of marriage and like the reality of the duty that you take on when you get married and stuff like that. But Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Tony Ferguson, a legend of the game, asked JDM versus Islam thoughts. When it comes to JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, I actually got confused. I forgot that they called him that. Um, it's tough because for one thing, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that much about Jack Della Maddalena. The only thing I know is that I'm very happy he beat what's his face. You see, Bilal Muhammad. I'm so glad that he beat Bilal Muhammad, because if there's one thing I'm tired of, it's the Muslims trying to act like that having the most boring, the most ass fighters in the world, and picking and choosing competitors that they're going to go up against so that they can pad records and shit like that. I'm tired of Muslims acting like that makes the best fighter in the world or the best fighter ever and things like that. Habib is not even top 10. Habib, I wouldn't even consider to be top 15, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And it's not that I don't like those guys personally, right? It's that I don't like how their fans make it into a thing. Like that's what they do. They make it into a thing where it's like, yes, the Muslim fighter won because God loves Muslims and you should be a Muslim too. And if you're not, we're gonna kill you one day. Like that's their whole thing. And that's really annoying. And then on top of that, also boring wrestlers suck for the sport. It's not fun watching them. And it's not just that the Muslim wrestlers are boring, like a lot of wrestlers are boring nowadays. Marab, like at the very least, he kind of tries to make it fun a little bit by having like a bit of an attitude in there, but it's also like, I'd rather see you strike. I'm not interested in watching you kiss another man's back. I'm all set on that. dude. I'm good. Thank you. Throw hands. Why don't you throw some hands? You know, that's kind of how I feel about someone like Marab. But at least he tries. You know. Now, when it comes down to it, JDM versus Islam is a tough one because Islam Makhachev is actually kind of the inverse of what I was talking about because Islam does have hands. Like, Islam can actually strike. And I actually like him better than the other Dagestanis because he actually seems like an all right guy. A lot of these other Dagestanis, they come in and, you know, they do the ha 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 thing. And people are like, whoa, dude, he's so humble. He's so disciplined and respectful. Meanwhile, like, they'll like jump you 5-on-1. These are elite level fighters. I won't even say supposed to be. I mean, they're in the UFC. They're elite level, right? These are elite level fighters, and they need to like gang up on people and shit like that when they're out in public. That's pathetic. That's pathetically bad, you know. But like someone like Islam Makhachev, he actually seems like an all right guy, just judging from the way he talks and you know, like how he does things and stuff like that. But like overall, it's tough. It's tough for me to say who I think would win that because I don't know that much about JDM. But then in addition to that, I know that Islam Makhachev is actually the real deal. He's like one of the few Dagestanis that I would actually put money on as like I think Islam Makhachev could be one of the best one day. Meaning he could be in that top 10 that people say Habib is in, but really he's not, you know? And that's because he actually does have striking and he has taken some dangerous fights, you know? I don't know where he's been lately, but I mean, he's taken fights against dudes that were actually kind of scary when he fought them and stuff like that. And that's really cool, you know? Only Muslim fighter across sports I care about is Prince Nazim. Yeah, he was someone who he had a big personality as well. I didn't really watch too much of him. You know, I think I was a little young to even know who he was. I wasn't like a big. I mean, I'm still not a big boxing fan as is. I'm not even a huge UFC fan. It's just like my literacy in combat sports helps me to understand the UFC a little bit easier without constantly having to pay attention to it and everything like that, you know? I'm not like a UFC every Saturday night guy. That's not my thing. It's like, hey, who's fighting? I don't know any of those guys. I don't care about them either. All right, I ain't watching this, you know? But yeah, you know? Does Scott have any fights uploaded to YouTube? I have a few. Fuck it. You know what? It's been 10 years since this one. I meant to do a thing for it. I'll go ahead. I'll say fuck it, and I will show you guys. I've actually this I've actually showed this on the I've showed this on the what's it called before the fish tank site before. You know the craziest thing about this Cars for Kids thing. I don't know how true it is, but I heard it and it sounds true enough. I guess this Cars for Kids thing. Oh no, or maybe it was Cash for Clunkers. It might have been Cars for Kids, might have been Cash for Clunkers. Either way, one of these was like an Israeli front company or something like that, where they would take the money and they would give it to kids for like birthright trips or something like that. Something along those lines. And it's part of the reason why you can't find $500 cars anymore is because boomers. Because who else? Because who else? They saw this on the not even the internet, you know, the TV, and they were like, "Oh, I could get cash from my car. I could donate cars for kids, and I could get a tax deduction. Oh, dude, I'll do that." So because of that, the supply of cars actually like went down, and then in addition to that, the cars that replaced the supply of cars that people sold to these companies or donated to these companies, because this Cars for Kids is donate your car today. it was like since like the cars that flooded the market after the more recent cars that have come out, they all have different safety features and all that other stuff that is mandatory. Like they just sell for more. You know, you can't find a bare bones car that's just like, oh yeah, needs a new timing belt or whatever or some shit like that. You know, it's always gonna be some like, oh, it's got Bluetooth. You know, it's got Bluetooth and there's side airbags and blah blah blah. You know, it's crazy. But anyway, we're gonna go bada bing bada boom. So yeah, excuse me. Here I am, 19-year-old Scott, built like a refrigerator. Built like a fucking refrigerator. My arms look mad long in this. So does my upper body. This has to be a camera trick. But anyway, yeah, this was about this is 10 years and almost 2 months old. No, this is 10 years and a little bit over a month old actually. But yeah, I showed this on the fish tank site once. I was actually going to do a video about this. This is the fight that I won out of my 3 MMA fights. So you know, we'll just go ahead and watch it. Um, Man, he actually grazed me with that kick. I had a dot in my vision. He got me on this side, but the dot was here. It was either here or here. I forget which one, but I know it was on this side. Because he hit me with like basically like if this was his foot, he basically hit me with this. You know. But yeah, so then I ended up kicking him in the head right after. He ducked into the kick, and he told me later that if I didn't jump on him, he would have just been knocked out. But I think me jumping on him woke him up. But yeah, so here, right, I wanna talk a little bit about this. This is why I shit on jujitsu every now and again, right? Because so what you have here, right? Nah, you know what? Fuck it. It's my fight. I'm gonna do it how I want. Um, so he's in a half guard right now. You know, basically, he's in a half guard. And what happens here is I go for. You're gonna be able to see it. So I go for a half Nelson, right? Now my coach is yelling crossface, crossface. Now what that means in jujitsu is you take this out and you go shoulder to cheek and you push into his head so that you have shoulder pressure down on his cheek so that he can't look into you, so that he can't turn into you or anything like that. It's really hard to keep that kind of position in no-gi jiu-jitsu, though, because you don't have anything to grab onto. What is a better position to go for in an MMA fight, if you are in this position, if you're in this situation, is to wrap around that head, because as you can see, he's kind of crunched in a way that is a little bit uncomfortable for him, right? I have access to the body. I can punish his body. The punches that I'm hitting him with, those don't feel good. You can tell. He even is like, oh, he comes down here to try and stop it from happening. And then if he tried to roll me that way, you can see I can post here. But my coach, who is a big jiu-jitsu guy, he fought MMA. He had like 30 something MMA fights, but like he actually fought Nick Serra's brother, now that I think of it. No, Matt Serra's brother, Nick Serra. But he tells me to go crossface. And you're going to see what happens as soon as I let that go. I go crossface, and immediately this dude starts working, and it becomes so much harder for me to be able to keep him controlled, you know? And you can see he ended up recovering a guard, right? And now he's even got both of my arms in. Well, he's got one of my arms. He's got my right arm in an overhook, which is not where I want it. That's my power side. I'm going to be doing most, if not all, of the punching with that side. If you had to pick one side to punch with, it's going to be your power side. I had him in a position where I could have held him there and kept on fighting. And then in addition to that, this isn't good because he's actually climbing up for an arm bar there. He's trying to hit me with what? Nah, it's not a double arm bar. He might have been trying to go for some kind of arm bar on this side, right? Because I actually I took my hand and I put it across here, so that is kind of giving him an arm bar in a certain sense, but it just wasn't good for me. It just was not good. So he ends up pushing me off. I hit him with that hook. I specifically remember hitting him with that hook. I don't think I hit him with the cross after. So what I'm doing right here is what I need to be doing. I'm making my legs wider than his, right? I'm not flat against the cage or anything like that. I'm pressuring down on him. And because of that, even though he has arms behind both of my legs, one of my legs now, he's not able to get it. Now, I gave up the underhook that I just took back. That was not necessarily the best idea. And here I'm just kind of trying to score points and stuff like that. He tries to redouble his efforts on that takedown, but it doesn't work. And he finally gets it after he hooks the leg. That was really good. So here what I'm doing, this is another example of how jiu-jitsu completely misses the mark in MMA. So as you can see, right, he took me down. I have a half guard right now, and they actually call this an Irish necktie to my understanding, funny enough. But I have him in what you could call a necktie, because I don't want him to be able to posture up and start hitting me, right? Now, my coach here is yelling, "Make space, Scott, make space," which is a jiu-jitsu thing. You would want to push off. You would want to, try and recover a guard and things like that. Yeah, like in a jiu-jitsu match, sure, that's what you'd want to do. In an MMA match, I don't want to let this guy posture up to be able to hit me, right? So I let it go, right? I think at this point I end up, oh no, I still have the half guard. I'm trying to fumble for a lockdown here. Again, I'm still just kind of keeping him close. Not even at this point. He's just kind of trying to pressure down on me. I end up recovering that guard, but he actually has me in a really good place right here. He has me up against the cage, and because of that, I can't shrimp out, which is good. So he's hitting me, and it just kind of sucks. He isn't hitting me like that hard. It doesn't hurt that much. I can remember this point. But what I do here is, and I'm pissed about this, you can see I pull an arm bar, and you see how all of a sudden I'm out. I'm so pissed they didn't get this on video. I'm so angry they didn't get this on video to this day. I don't know who filmed this. They're an idiot. But the way I ended up here is I pulled that arm bar, he pulled his arm out, and I used him pulling his arm out as a means to roll backwards into the position that I would end up being, where I was able to climb for the takedown. I was able to push forward and get him up against the cage here, right? You can see he's bleeding from his nose, and it's literally down my back right now. It's falling down my back. So I tried to go down, and it didn't quite work. But then there it worked, right? I vaguely remember trying twice to take him down, and I don't remember it working. But I ended up getting the takedown, and here surprised me, and I still think about this sometimes. This is an omoplata right here, right? Now, what I did immediately when I got hit with this omoplata, and this is something I figured out on my own at the time, right? Nobody taught me this, is when he caught the omoplata, I felt it, and what I did is I took my left arm and I put it on the inside of my thigh, and you can see the inside of my thigh right here, right? In fact, you should be able to kind of see the moment, right? And I believe it's already on the inside of the thigh. All right, so what I did there was I sat, and what I did in that case when I sat there is it gave me a little bit more leverage. Now, I originally was going to try throwing his leg around and then not swimming, but like sliding over to side control, but I didn't do that. And instead, my coach told me to stand up, which was good advice in this case. And I stood up, and I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity, as you can see, but I didn't. And I'll tell you why I didn't throw that punch there. It's because in my first fight, I spent most of the fight on the ground, and it was not fun. And I was against a college wrestler who lied about his skill level. So he took me down, and I was hunting for submissions. Again, another disconnect that jiu-jitsu has from mixed martial arts grappling, right? MMA or combat grappling. You don't want to hunt for submissions on bottom like that. So because of that, I was still kind of like, oh man, I don't want to I don't want to get taken down. And because of that, I was overcautious. I was overcautious. Where even though, I mean, look at this, right? I stand up, he gets up. Man, if I hit him with that, he would have been out. He would have been out like a light. Um, but I didn't, because like I said, I was timid, because I was like, oh no, I got to be careful about throwing my weight forward like that, because what if I get taken down? As if he was going to take me down in that case, you know. But anyway, so we're kind of here, and that's what I was afraid of the whole time. That's what I was afraid of the whole time, and it came true because of that hesitation there. I was like, all right, whatever. Let's fake a little bit, play around. I throw a jab cross. I body lock immediately, and I straighten my body out as a means to try and make myself heavy. I basically sandbagged the guy in a certain sense. I'm against the cage, and I knew that this was a close. I knew that this was close. I think I would have won even if I did get taken down, but I told myself, no, I can't get taken down. I remember thinking, like, no. I gotta hold, I gotta hold, I gotta hold, I gotta hold position. I got it, And then one thing leads to another, and here we are. So I threw that kick just because my coach told me to throw the kick. I was also a little nervous about throwing kicks, if I'm being honest with you, because I dislocated my knee throwing a kick because I didn't know how to kick properly at the time. People think when you get into a mixed martial arts event or a boxing match or a kickboxing match or something like that, you're supposed to be completely and totally polished and everything's supposed to be great. No, there's so many guys that if you watch their first fight, they look like ass, including dudes that you see on the world stage that you're like, whoa, dude, he's one of the best ever. He's a generational talent. He's going to be top 10. People are going to be talking about him. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you watch their first fight, they do so many fucking things wrong. And part of it comes down to the fact that they're practicing wrong because nobody has corrected something yet. Or if people are correcting them, they're not doing the work that they need to correct that thing. So because of that, I threw a kick improperly, and I dislocated my knee. And I still have an issue with it from time to time. It'll kind of like slip out of place for a second. And it actually happened in season 1 of Fish Tank. I was sparring with Sam in the garage, and I put weight down the wrong way, and I just fucking I hit the ground. I was like, oh fuck. And then I had to explain what happened, Excuse me. But yeah, so I threw the kick. It didn't really land, but I remember landing with my toes or something like that. So he throws that kick. I ended up deflecting in a way that's not really good. I deflected with my hands down here. That was not good. And another one there. You can see that I'm timid, right? But I timed that kick that put him down. And I meant to do that one. Like I was sitting there being a little bit too fucking patient. But at the very least, it kind of paid off a little bit. I mean, a lot of bit. I mean, you can see here, right? So we'll go ahead. We'll go back and we'll talk about this a little bit, right? So kick, bang. I go down. I don't even know if that punch landed. I landed a few punches, and one of them was to the back of the head. I think a couple of them were to the back of the head, and I remember hitting him in the back of the head. I saw what was happening, but it wasn't registering in my head like, oh no, I need to stop that. And then the referee said, hey, watch the back of the head, and that's when I was like, oh shit, yeah. I still kind of feel bad about that when I think about it. I'm not a particularly dirty fighter or anything like that. That's not something I believe in. But this was my second fight. I've since had again multiple more fights than that, and then also exhibitions that are that basically function as fights. It's just that there's no winner declared. So I'm a little bit more calm. Well, it's not calm under pressure. I'm a little bit more controlled under pressure. Things aren't going a mile a minute for me anymore or anything like that. But every now and again I think about that and I'm like, oh, that was kind of a dick move on my part. That's what, yeah, you see, that's when I started to throw with my left hand. And here, I went to that crossface, right? And this time, I made it worth my while because, as you can see, instead of cross-facing on his cheek or his jaw, what I'm cross-facing on is his throat. And that's called a Von Flue choke. I remember the day we went over this, right? I immediately fell in love with it, and I'm glad that I was able to get the finish this way. But the Von Flue is really good because if you're caught in a half guard, if you just cannot pass that half guard under any circumstances, if you can Von Flue a guy, he will let go of that half guard, which is what happens here, right? You see, I'm tripoding, I'm putting a lot of weight on him, and then he actually lets me pass, and he can't get out of it, right? So I gave him a hug right then and there. I probably should have let him up. You know, the last thing I would want is someone like, all right, you tapped out. Hey, bud, give me a hug right now. Like, I probably should have given him a second, you know. But what was I gonna say? Another good place for the Von Flue choke is if you're caught in a guillotine. There's times where if somebody's on their back and they have you in a guillotine, if you can angle your shoulder just right, you'll actually be able to, one, negate the guillotine for at least a little while, but then two, you'll also go shoulder into throat, and you'll cut off one of the carotids, and you will be able to submit the guy who has you in a submission. You know, I really like the Von Flue choke. It's nice. It's nice. That sounds like a designer brand move. That's exactly what it is. No, that's like street jujitsu shit. Like if you're hitting that in a high level competition, it's like, for one thing, you're not going to, right? Because it's more positional than it is a submission. It's like knee on belly. Like if you tap to knee on belly, your black belt is going to look at you and he's going to be like, I can't believe you. He's gonna want to run you over with his car, you know. But when it comes to the Von Flue, like in MMA especially, you don't need high level grappling to be good in MMA. And then in addition to that, there's other aspects of MMA that make certain things a little bit more. It ups the efficacy, I guess you could say, of certain moves and certain things, you know. And this is one of them right here. Scott, you went live on X 20 hours ago, and I couldn't see any place to comment or anything, only make posts or whatever. I think your YouTube live get more people anyway. Really? Is that the case, Zach? Because I was wondering why nobody was commenting anything. You know, I figured at least one person would comment or something like that. And it was telling me scroll to see old comments, and I would assume that means like, oh, somebody must have said something in the chat. I have to check that. Oh, no, I guess not. It was like really weird and annoying and shit like that, you know? The Neon Belly sub is brutal. Ouch, my tummy. yeah. It's not it's not very fun to be in Neon Belly, but like to get caught in there, it's like you have to practically let somebody catch you there. At least in the way that they're gonna be able to Neon Belly you, and it's really gonna be it's really gonna be like, no, but like at least in that way where it's really gonna be like you know, where it's gonna be a submission, you know. Let's see here, but it's named after the guy who hits it, I think. Yeah, I forget what his first name is, but his last name is Von Flue. Jason Von Flue, yes, indeed. This dude is now 49 years old, from Clovis, California, and he fought at welterweight and middleweight. Von Flue made his professional MMA debut in June 1999. Man, winning 3 times in one night on the International Fighting Championships WC3 Warriors Challenge 3 show. Damn, that's crazy. Over the next 6 years, he amassed a record of 10 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw while fighting for promotions such as King of the Cage, World Extreme Cage Fighting in his native, and World Extreme Cage Fighting in his native California. Man, I miss when it was this kind of guy fighting in MMA, dude. When this kind of guy was fighting in MMA, you know. Oh, Alex Care Alexis. This is a Boston guy. Alex Karalexis was a Boston guy. He fought out of Sityodtong. Huh. Funny. I didn't know he I didn't know he hit I didn't know he hit the Von Flue to counter the guillotine choke that is now commonly referred to as the Von Flue choke. Yes. Yes. I didn't know he hit it against a Boston guy. That's kind of funny. But yeah, anyway. More like Bon Poo. Fucking got him. Fucking got him. Got his ass. Fucking dumbass motherfucker. He got you. He got you, Jason. He got you, Jason Bon Poo. Murked him. Anyway. I'm looking around because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything good to talk about or anything like that. I think their YouTube is going to do it here in America. I heard August 13th. What are you talking about? Bonjo or Skeet? I'm curious about that. Excuse me. Yeah. I think like August 13th, you're gonna need an ID. You're gonna need an ID for YouTube. Like, I'm all for protecting the children and stuff like that. You know, I like with everything that's been going on. Anyway, with I think this is stupid. I think this is fucking dumb. Additionally, since 2017, the Von Flue choke has occasionally been referred to as the Von Preux choke due to its usage by Ovens Saint Preux. I bet if Saint Preux was not of African extraction, they probably would still be calling it the Von Flue choke. You know, like legit, like just call it the Von Flue choke. That's what it is. That's the guy who did it first. All right, but anyway, I just think shit like that is stupid. Fucking, like, I'm all for protecting children. If there's one thing I can't stand, and one thing that is definitely 100% an attack on children in the first place, it's the sheer amount of porn and gore that is on the internet. And I think that people need, like here's the thing, right? On one hand, it's like, okay, well, one of the parents gonna step up and parent. I understand that, and I agree with it. Parents need to do good for their children, but the fact of the matter is, regardless of how good or bad parents are doing, it's better to not have kids watching porn. So yeah, there probably should be something in place that forces some kind of like something, you know? Now, do I have the perfect answer? Do I have exactly what we need? No. What I'm saying though is that we need to put thought into it and figure something out. That way we can actually have a situation where people's rights are not violated, but also at the same time, kids are not being turned into weird fetishists because they were 9 years old when their mom got them a fucking cell phone, and mommy didn't think that it would be a good idea to put child blocks on the cell phone because, oh, my son, no, I raised my son right. He would never even do that. My son would never even do that. No, of course not. When mommy gets like little Timmy a cell phone, he's able to look up porn on it. You know, I can remember people showing me porn on their shit when I was like 11 or 12 years old. That's like on the tail end of that window. I know Jordan Peterson is like a meme. You know, I can't stand the guy either lately, especially after that 20 atheists versus 1 Christian debate on whatever channel that was. But one thing that like I do believe that he said is that there's a window of time where any sexual activity of any kind is going to be seared into the brain of a person, and it's between the age of like 8 and like 12 or 13 or something like that. So that's part of the reason why we have so many fucked up weird fetishes and stuff like that, and it's only gotten worse as time has gone on. Is because you have this situation where people from a young age were shown porn, were turned on to this weird, gross bullshit that nobody should be doing in the first place, and because of that, it became seared into their heads. You know. Now, me, like, luckily for me, I didn't have any weird bullshit occur from seeing porn at that age. However, I will say that as somebody who watched porn pretty often for a long time, yeah, like it has an effect on you. You know, you start to notice certain differences in the way that you think and the way that you act. You know, porn brain is real. Coon brain, gooner brain, whatever you would call it, it's all real. You know, you will have a real non-sexual effect on your life where everything one becomes sexual, but then two on top of that, you're just like you can't help but think of things in terms of like, well, I'm just a white boy. Because of course, when you watch porn, right? This is something that I noticed back when I was watching porn, and we went from one topic to another. It's just that the porn thing specifically, like, really is like I think it's a real issue, just like a lot of other people do, you know. And I'm not afraid to talk about like this stuff in the nitty gritty way because, like, you know, it fucking whatever. Like, oh no, I used to watch a ton of porn. Oh yeah, like everybody was a 17-year-old kid at one point, but um like I can remember going to porn sites and wanting to watch something specific. Never did I ever look up black guy destroys white woman or anything like that. You know, that's one of the more PG titles that you would probably expect on something like that, you know. Never did I look up like black guy anything. I was never interested in anything like that. If I was going to watch porn, I wanted to live vicariously through it, if that made sense. I wanted to be able to feel like, you know, because that's how empathy works, right? And that's how people will justify porn usage is like, oh no, I'm not being weird about it. I'm just, you know, it's empathy, bro. I watch porn because I'm empathetic. Actually, I'm actually an empath. That's why I watch porn. Um, no, but like, excuse me. Do you like vor? I love vor, Diana. I love vor. Vor. No, but nah, vor is a weird one. I don't like it's not like disgusting weird to me. It's just like what the fuck is this? But anyway, like if you say you wanted to watch like Missionary, all right? We'll say you decided you wanted to watch Missionary, right? So you go and you type in Missionary. At least 3 or 4 of the videos are gonna be like black dude fucks white wife, white husband can't help but watch. He wishes he had a dick that big. It's like some weird shit like that. Um, Even if you're like white male, white female, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 videos that are cuckold videos that are put into the feed. These are multi-billion dollar, potentially even trillion-dollar organizations, companies, whatever you would call them. You are not going to tell me that that is an accident. You are not going to tell me that they are just that bad at their SEO for their site or anything like that. That was put there on purpose because it's hoping that you are gonna, because the way porn works, right, is you watch a little bit of it, it's exciting, you get excited, but then eventually what you were watching before is not enough, so you need something that elevates the excitement just a little bit, right? They're hoping that when you start getting bored of missionary between white man and white woman, you'll see one of those videos and your heart rate will start to increase a little bit, and you'll be like, "Boop, boop, 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 boop. Oh man, what the hell? Huh? What's that even doing there? I don't know. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I should give it a try." And then before you know it, like 6 months later, you're trans or something like that. You know, like that's the type of shit that they're hoping. You know, so it's disgusting. And like to bring it back to what I was talking about, it's hard for me right now, and this is how it always goes. Is like somebody think of the children, and then before you know it, like, you know, you're not allowed to have a Twitter because you have to use ID to get your Twitter, and now they have your ID logged, and they've decided that you're a bad actor, and because of that, not only are you not allowed to have a Twitter, but now they have your home address and they can come find you and shit like that. Like, there needs to be something in place other than just telling parents, well, I mean, you know, maybe you should be a better parent, because it is fucking everywhere today, and it always gets shoved right in front of you. It is always getting shoved right in front of you unless you are actively fighting against it, like me. whenever I see a violence video, for me, it's not porn, it's violence, right? I'm always fighting against violence on my timeline, whether it's Instagram or Twitter. When I see a street fight video on Twitter, I immediately mute whoever uploaded the street fight video. And I tell Twitter I'm not interested in that type of stuff. What I want to see on my timeline is people that I follow and fucking cats and guinea pigs and cows and animal videos and stuff like that in general, you know? Most people are not actively fighting against that kind of content though. So eventually what happens is someone's scrolling through TikTok or they're scrolling through Twitter, they're scrolling through Instagram, and they see their cat video, they see their dog video, they see their two guinea pigs eating hay video and stuff like that, and then bang, there it is, a dude getting executed or something like that, or a cuckold video or something like that, and the person, whether it's a kid or an adult, is going to be like, oh, what the fuck is that? Get that out of here. But because they didn't actively say, no, I don't want to see this, they're going to start getting it more and more and more. And then, like I said, eventually, maybe they become desensitized to it on a level as to where it's not like a, oh, what the fuck thing anymore. Maybe at some point they're like, oh, it's another one of these, huh? Yeah, that guy sure is fucking that girl, huh? I wonder if I could perform the same. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I should just let Tyquavius fuck my wife instead. Like that's how it works. That's how it goes, you know? So it's like as much as I want to protect the kids, and I think we need to figure something out, it pisses me off that in order to protect these kids, I'm now going to have to give my ID over to YouTube. Just so and like why even ID verification? Why does there have to be ID verification? Why can't like they're gonna use AI to determine if I'm underage? I know I look like a succulent young boy, but I can assure you I am 30 years old. All right. I know I look young for my age, ladies and gentlemen, but I am 30 years old. I'm gonna be 31 this year. Okay. You don't need my identification. You don't need my driver's license for that. You don't need my passport. You can just use AI to look at my videos. You can use AI to look at my videos and determine that, yes, this is indeed a 30-year-old man. It's just insane. It's so fucking stupid, you know? I've wondered recently if the internet will become so polluted someday it'll be like 99% gore and porn. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me, you know? Be Nice says, Mr. Hands made me laugh, TBH. Yeah, sure. I watched gore, and I was unaffected. I actually thought it was funny. When I was working for a tech company, I used to clean off or repair old people's drives, and the amount of black dude dicks down white chicks was insane. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. And I mean, like, all the generations that are alive right now were one-shotted by something, you know? The boomer generation was one-shotted by the media, you know? And when I say one-shotted, I gotta be honest with you, that's like a Zoomer word, that's like a Zoomer phrase, so I'm probably not using it right. I'm probably being an old goofy saying it this way, but boomers were one-shotted by the news media and just media in general, you know? Yeah, I know I'm not using it right, because one-shotted would imply that it's like you get nailed once and you're just changed. But like boomers were so affected by all sorts of media that were not around when their parents were their age. That even though it is more noticeable, even though it is more, I won't say rampant necessarily, it's just more noticeable in like millennials and especially noticeable in Zoomers and stuff like that. Conversations with the Killer, the Son of Sam tapes. I want to watch that. I find the Sons of Sam theory to be very interesting, you know, but I'm not like a true crime guy necessarily, but you know, that thing interests me. The bottom line is boomers, millennials, and Zoomers all have a similar sickness in certain ways. And a lot of these boomers were changed by media telling them all of these things, um, and Gen X and millennials were not that far off either. In fact, millennials, I made a patron exclusive video about this, but one of the big one of the big diseases of the millennial generation, specifically like the mid to late millennial generation, of which I was a part. I was born in 94, and people agree that the cutoff for Zoomer is like 95, 96, somewhere around there. Um, but like one of the big diseases of our time was that in the 90s and 2000s, from like 95 to like 2005, you had all of these movies that came out about like a black dude who starts going to school in a white neighborhood, and everybody thinks he's stealing stuff, but he's really just a good guy. Or like oh, the white girl has to go to school in the black neighborhood now, and they all think she's a prissy bitch, and she slowly learns through the penis of the guy that she ends up dating that she can be ghetto too, she can be hood too. And there's a moment where she wears like what hood rats back at that time would wear, or like so like the black character teaches the white character to dance or something like that. There's some stupid shit like that. Like those kinds of movies. In addition to that, like there were movies where like even if it wasn't like the story itself, there was always some kind of thing where it's like oh, there's some gangsters that show up, and they're cool, and they're super fly, bro, and they're tough and they're good fighters, and these white boys and shit like that over there, nah, they ain't got no flavor and shit like that. Like so many movies, so many music videos, and just so much music, so many TV shows and stuff like that had some aspect of that. And that's part of the reason why I grew up constantly hearing about how white guys can't fight or something like that, which was like so weird to me to hear like at any point in my life. But like that was a thing. Like if you're a Zoomer, you're too young to know about this or remember it. I don't think any Zoomers are watching my shit. It's all just a bunch of old men like me watching my shit. But back when I was a kid, that was like the consensus of pop culture, is that white people are lame. And it's not just that they're lame because they don't season their chicken or something like that. It's that they're pussies and they can't fight, and they don't know what the real world is like compared to this brother over here. And it's like you got to be careful of what you allow your child to consume. And it sucks because you got to hug that line where it's like, okay, they're not Amish, but also they're not watching like, hey yo, fuck Whitey too. This time is personal, like that, like a movie like that. Hey yo, white people don't season they chicken three. This time it's Lowry's. Like they're not watching that, but they're also not like completely and totally incapable of connecting with other people who are their peers. It's kind of a weird thing. And one of the things you definitely don't want your child watching, again, is porn and other adult content and stuff like that. Even gore. To call gore adult content, it's like gore is not adult content. That is to me, gore is like the next step above porn, if anything, where it's like nobody should be watching this. Nobody should be watching this. It's like if you tell me you watch porn, it's like, well, a lot of people watch porn. I mean, every now and again I have a day too. If I'm just being honest with you. When I say a day, that makes it sound like it's like an all day affair. It's not, obviously. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by that. You know what I mean by that. Every now and again, I'm like, all right, fuck it, right? But like, you have Happy Gilmore 2 is out. I should watch it, even though it's probably gonna suck. Um, um, Oh yeah, like if somebody tells me they watch porn, it's like, oh well, that's not really good. But I mean, whatever. A lot of people watch porn today, and I ain't about to have that conversation with this guy. What he does behind closed doors is, that's his thing. So long as he ain't doing it with or to anybody who is unable to consent in that way, if you know what I mean. But if somebody tells me they watch gore, it's like, all right, this is a wasteoid. This is a fucking AIDS boy. Get him away from me. Get the fuck out of here, you freak. Um, Street fight videos are very low or full of very low vibration people. Yeah, it's not even what they're full of necessarily, unless what you mean when you say full of is like the people that watch them. Yeah, like because sometimes you just end up in a situation where you got to start throwing hands. Like it happens from time to time, although it doesn't happen like all the time, thank God. In fact, a lot of people will be able to go their entire lives without ever getting into a fist fight. I don't even think that is preferable, but I also don't think that's the worst thing that could ever happen to somebody either. Like I think you should get into one fight in your life just so you kind of understand yourself and other people a little bit better. you know. But yeah, white people ain't finna stop me coming to a cinema near you. Oh boy, fucking forget about it. You're on to something because I know people who watch gore videos like it's an addiction. Exactly. I mean, there was this one guy, Plagued Moth, and the thing is, like, the people that watch gore are like they're full of contradiction in a way that is not forgivable. Speaking of Plagued Moth. I used to watch him because he would give more of like a true crime account of his videos, of the videos that he was talking about and stuff like that. It was like, hey, you remember this video that was going around years ago? Yeah, that was pretty fucked up. Anyway, here's the story behind it. That's one thing. That's like as close as I'll come to it. But then he starts watching the videos on screen, and since it's YouTube, he blurs it all out, right? But he had uncensored stuff on his Patreon and shit like that. And he's sitting here making jokes and stuff like that. And then when fucking Pride month comes around, he's like, yeah, because I'm an ally, because that's the right thing to do. It's like, you don't have a right to tell anybody anything about morality, dude. You deserve to be face down in a fucking ditch. And if I was able to do it legally, I would be the one to put you there. I would be mashing your head into the fucking mud, asking you how it tastes. Because that kind of guy is one of the worst kinds of guys, and he will absolutely positive. Not just one of the worst kinds of guys, one of the like lamest kinds of guys, because like his thing is, yeah, I watch gore. Isn't that so cool? And it's like this is a dude, he has never been in a fight. And if he ever got into a fight, he would get his ass beat in a way that is like completely and totally like unsalvageable, It's not like you can be like, well, I went down swinging. It's like, no, he would be like in a corner, like, no, please, dude, please, just, dude, can't we just talk this out? Dude, this is assault. Dude, that's assault. He'd be that kind of guy, So one of the best things, in fact, I'm pretty sure he got kicked off. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure he got kicked off YouTube. Whoa! I did not know about that one. Whoa. Okay, I didn't even know about. I didn't even know about that one. But anyway, yeah, like he's off. He's off the whatever it's called, like great, fantastic. That's where he belongs. He doesn't belong on YouTube or anything like that. Fuck that guy. But yeah, it's insane. Oh, excuse me. Have you seen those naked men walking around on Pride Month where children walk around and such? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in person because I wouldn't ever go to a Pride parade for any reason. But I've heard about it, and I've seen pictures of the guys at the parades and stuff like that. And it's a parade. Adults don't go to parades. Adults aren't like, oh, dude, the parade. No, that's you bring children to parades. It really tells you everything you need to know about Pride that they have parades. It's like it couldn't it The only way it could have been worse is if they set up like a daycare center, Pride Daycare Center. We give us your kids. That would be their thing. Pride Daycare Center. Give us your children. That's that'd be their slogan. You know. Agreed. That said, public executions were a thing in most every Catholic kingdom from the beginning of recorded history. I think that's a little bit different from gore. Gore is just the gratuitous watching of somebody who is being killed, usually for a reason that does not justify that by people who don't have any kind of authority. It's just, well, I happen to be able to capture this guy from the enemy cartel. So even though he hasn't legitimately done anything to us, he's just a guy from an enemy cartel that I captured. We're going to humiliate him in his final moments by cutting his head off on camera. And we're going to post that to the internet for his family and friends to be able to see. And people will probably send it to them. And then in addition to that, it'll also be like, don't fuck with the Zetas. Don't fuck with the whatever thing, I think that's a lot different from, okay, so we have to execute these people because that is part of our doctrine, that is part of our law. This guy killed somebody, or he did this, or he did that, or he did the other thing. And because of that, the sentence is death, so we're going to hang them, That's why certain methods of execution became a thing where, like, yeah, sure, you might have guillotines and stuff like that, but the idea is that it's not going to be like sawing through someone's head. The idea is that it's supposed to come down and break the spine if it doesn't completely sever them, which it's not perfect. Stuff like that, like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. There's going to be mishaps and things like that. But like the idea was supposed to be that it's like, okay, one fell swoop and the head comes off, and even if they are still alive, they're alive for another like 3 or 4 seconds. Okay, whatever, instead of it being, again, like cut into a dude's throat, he starts choking on the blood while he's also losing blood. So it's just that much more excruciating, things like that. Like, particularly in the Christian world, methods of execution actually became less and less messy and brutal as time went on. Hanging. That's a very, very bloodless way, very quick way to kill somebody if done correctly. Electric chair was, honestly, that was kind of a step in the wrong direction, but firing squad, like there's examples that you can look to, that as time went on in the Christian world, you kind of see people are like, oh, even if we are gonna kill this guy, even if capital punishment is what he's getting, it's like, maybe we should like chill out or something like that. Maybe we shouldn't be like fucking around that way. That's kind of awful. Maybe like, yeah, we got to do this, but like we don't gotta fucking watch him bleed out for a minute and a half to 2 minutes while he's like writhing. I think it's probably better for us to just make it quicker. One of the videos, I stumbled upon this video years and years ago. I forget on what site, but it was a site where you can look through videos and stuff like that. And it just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And it was called Funky Town Horror. And what happened was, I think it was in like a Brazilian prison. They cut a dude's face off while he was alive. And you could see the dude writhing in pain. He couldn't even yell. And at that point, you just kind of wondered, like, because it was just like skull and no eyes, no ears, no nothing. You almost wonder, like, how much of that he actually even understands is going on, and how much of it is just like instinctual twitching and moving and shit like that. But the guy was alive, so to be like, oh well, the cat, like, that's making me squeamish even describing it to you guys. And the reason why I know the name is because I was watching Plagued Moth's stuff before he went off the fucking deep end, watching shit on his channel. And he mentioned that, Yeah, like to sit here and be like, oh well, the Catholic Church did it to people. It's like they weren't doing that to people, man. They weren't doing that to people. You know, fucking, I don't know how people watch that shit and think, yeah, I want to see more. I mean, it's a lack of empathy, and I think people like that deserve to have bad things happen to them. What I would say is, I hope and pray that they step away from their egregiously sinful ways. I would hope and pray that they have a change of heart and they stop behaving in that manner. But as long as they're going to be that way, I think they deserve 40 whacks every day. I think I should be allowed to identify them and just pelt them with leg kicks. Just like one person holds their legs in place, another person holds their upper body in place. Maybe we like duct tape them to a fucking pole or something like that, and I just get to whop, just chop at their legs like an axe until they're just like, all right, okay, I'm done watching that shit, bro. I'm done watching that shit. It's like the only they make it a thing where it's like, yeah, the only wow, that's power, because that's what it is a lot of the time, is that somebody like that wants to feel powerful. They want to feel as though they're voyeuristically watching somebody die, and they're alive because of some kind of merit of theirs, when in reality it's just because they don't live in Mexico and they haven't gotten involved with the cartel. you know um they don't live in Chicago, and they didn't decide to click up with whatever their neighborhood fucking group of dudes is. um like that's really what it is. It's not like their own merit, and they just want to feel powerful is really what it is at the end of the day. And this is something that you see a lot. Like, I was actually thinking about talking about Order of Nine Angles again, but I'm still thinking about it because I don't want people to think that I condone ONA. And when I say ONA, I don't mean 764, which is the thing that I was actually going to use as an example of people who feel powerless, that are like narcissistic and sociopathic and shit like that. And they want to feel like they have power over people. So they groom kids to like hurt themselves and hurt animals and do things to themselves and other kids, if you know what I mean. Um, what I was going to talk about with ONA was going to be their sevenfold path, and like what that means philosophically to my understanding of it. And how I do believe that they took that from Evola, not the sevenfold path in and of itself. I don't think Evola was like, oh yeah, and by the way, become an external adept by killing somebody. I don't think that's an Evola thing explicitly, but the idea of self-initiation and purposefully putting yourself through hardship and inconvenience and things like that. I think that's Evolian in nature, and I think it's a way of testing yourself to see if you are of that spiritual aristocracy. And even if you aren't in the moment, it's a way of kind of like elevating yourself to that. But that's a conversation for another day. What I was talking about with 764, which is a different thing from ONA, by the way. But what I was talking about with 764 is those people are the types who they want to feel powerful in a powerless situation. There's usually some kind of dark triad shit going on with them in and of itself. And because of that, they get addicted to the idea of like, yeah, I just made this 10-year-old girl cut herself. Haha, dude, dude, this 10-year-old girl is being groomed. I'm making her do stuff. It's like that type of shit. Um, excuse me. That's what it is. It's a control thing. It's a power thing. It's a haha, I'm better than the person in this video thing. In the case of like a 764 thing, it's a haha, I'm so powerful that I forced this person to do my bidding, and they carved my username into their whatever, like that type of shit. Um, um, you're fucked in the brain and I don't want to talk to you mindset. Yeah, people who do that, I'm not their friend anymore. Exactly. My friend sent me a consensual cannibalism video a few days ago. Didn't watch it, but the title alone haunted me for a while after. Oh, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to that guy anymore, man. You know, I think Joe Buttslash is right. You know, I think you're probably a smart guy, spy. You know, I mean, hey, you're here. Only smart fellas are allowed here. All right, no fart smellers, just smart fellas here allowed on Scott Sullivan MMA's YouTube channel, or as they're calling me now, Mr. Viral. All right. Um, Sounds like my dog is whining. You know what I think? I think he got locked in my other bedroom and everybody is out of that bedroom. I'm gonna go open I'm gonna go see. Just give me a second. Oh man. The he needed water. He needed fucking water. Anyway, man. Will you be visiting the Family Guy bar in Boston, Scott, the Drunken Clam? What's up? Yeah, it's good. I just Snoopy was bitching and I wasn't sure where he was. So I was like, okay, are they aware of this? Like, is he in there? No? Okay, well he's out there then. And he needed water. That's what he wanted. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know how long he was doing it for, but he was like doing that. That's all right. How much for that chair? I think it was like 150, 199. It's not a good chair at all, honestly. It's really not a good chair. Oh, excuse me. And I mean, I wouldn't mind visiting that Drunken Clam bar. It'd be nice, I guess, but I guarantee you it's probably not all it's cracked up to be, you know? Um, I had somebody, JC, my mod. He doesn't really show up here that much anymore. He's got other shit going on. But in addition to that, he's someone that I got to meet a little under a year ago. After Bitch Tank ended, I met some guys in Boston because Greg was going to be there, and they met up with Greg, and I got to meet them. They were a couple of cool cats, and JC was one of them. And he said he wanted to go, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just that it's not on the top of my list. He said he wanted to go and stream it, make content out of it, and it's like, well, I guess that's not a bad idea. But I don't know. Maybe I should hit him up and be like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Maybe we should. But yeah, um, your dog is called Snoopy. Yeah, yeah, his name's Snoopy. Um, Knight of Justice Scott, JC had confirmed. Yeah, JC's a cool guy. Um, Somebody asked what kind of dog. I think. I swear I saw somebody ask me what kind of dog it was, but it's a Lhasa Apso is what it was, a Lhasa Apso. Lhasa, Lhasa. I don't know how you say that. It's Lhasa, 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 whatever. That's the way my wife says it, and she's from Brazil, so they have a weird accent on their stuff. But yeah, small dog, not the smallest of the small, but small dog. I love him to death, even though there's something wrong with him, man, and I'm a little bit nervous. I got to be honest with you. Like he's putting on weight, even though we're not feeding him that much. We're also taking him for more walks and longer walks. And when I say we, I mean like mainly my mother-in-law and stuff like that. She loves taking the dog for walks. But he's putting on weight and there's diarrhea. He's just like shitting water, and it's like, oh man, what the fuck? And we can't figure out what the deal is. We have no clue. So it's kind of worrisome. It's bothersome. He's not old, but he is getting old. He's gonna be, I think, 10 this year or something like that. And Lhasa Apsos, they live between like 12 and 15 years. But he's good energy wise for the most part. It's been hot out, so he's been lazy. Dogs get lazy when it's hot. He eats whenever you give him anything. And even when you don't give him something, he's always looking for something that like may have fallen underneath you or something like that. Dude's like a vacuum. Um, he'll only feed it if he gets $10 every stream. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I'm going on the 7th if you feel like fucking around. Oh yeah. August. Is that a Tuesday? A Thursday? I feel like August 7th I had to be somewhere. I might be wrong about that, but I do know that there was something early August, the first week of August that I had to do, and it might have been on the 7th. Um, excuse me. But I don't know. Potentially, maybe. We'll see. I'm especially good to go on weekends though, because that's when I don't have shit to do. I'm off work right now, but even with being off work, I have to be at the gym every day to train people. So it like that's part of the reason why like my e-boy career has stalled. Meanwhile, you have Greg who is able to do some pretty cool stuff because he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have like a place that he has to be. And I'm not saying that as a way to denigrate or anything like that. Obviously, right? When you say he doesn't have a job, it's like that always sounds like it's like fucking jobless loser. No, that's not what it is. Like he doesn't have things that are bogging him down. Even Trish, it's like even if she has a job, like she doesn't care about that job as much as she cared about being on congregated, which like good for her. Like it's good to be able to do fun shit. Again, like I'm not saying like these people are fucking losers. Whenever you talk about that kind of thing, there's almost like a tinge of that. If anything, I'm jealous of them not having the responsibilities that I have. Even being married makes it a lot harder for me to be like, oh yeah, let's go up to Maine because Airsoft Fatty's trying to lose weight, and I can coordinate with him to try and collab, and that'll be fun. That's something I could have did, but I can't be going up to Maine to collab with people when I have a wife and I have an MMA gym that I'm basically running for the guy who owns it. It sucks. It sucks a little bit. Not gonna lie. And there's other reasons that it sucks too, like I can't just do whatever on a random Tuesday. You know um Job to job lifestyle, exactly. Like you can have that kind of situation, when you're not married and you're not worried about like, oh man, dude, I gotta have kids soon and shit like that. Greg, I don't think is interested in the idea of kids. And Trish is what, like 24. She's got a little bit more time. She can fuck around a little bit more if she wants. um what's going on, Dylan Hill? But yeah, that's part of the reason why you don't see me collab a ton, and that's part of the reason I didn't make an appearance on I keep almost calling it Greg Tank just out of reflex, but congregated. That's why I didn't make an appearance, because I know that if I hit up Greg and was like, "Yo, can I come out?" he probably would have said, "Yeah." It seemed like he was trying to sell me on the idea one day when he came in here to tell me about congregated. I think that's interesting. But yeah, you got to work for sure though, but it's good to not be a slave to a schedule. And that's the issue, is that I'm a slave to a schedule. And I didn't even want to be that way in the first place. Like people criticize me for being like overweight and shit like that. But if they had to operate on the schedule that I do, they would also be in the same exact situation, because there is no time for yourself at all. There's no time to work out. There's no time to do anything. And you're just going to be stressed constantly. And the only thing you have to kind of make the stress a little bit better is to stress eat. And you're not going to stress eat carrots, you know? You're going to stress eat like cake or something like that. That's why I'm overweight. It's not a lack of discipline. It's having so much discipline for things that do not involve me taking care of my body, to the point where like I've had to sacrifice it, and now I'm 270 pounds. A lot of people wouldn't understand that, because and I am denigrating some people now, not anybody that I know or love, but like some people wouldn't understand that, because They don't actually have a schedule like that because they are like living with their mom or dad, or like they're just like a do nothing bitch or things like that. Like that's something that exists. But um it's just it's tough, man. Like people don't want to hear me bitch about my life, but the reason why I talk about it is because I'm at a crossroads of my life. I'm 30 years old now. I spent my 20s doing some pretty good stuff. Some of it just cool. Other stuff was actually useful. And now I'm 30, and my wife is 31. My wife is 6 months older than me, and we don't want to have kids when we're 40. We want to have kids sooner, but we're both in a situation where it's like, fuck, it's kind of tough for us to have kids right now. And I've just been thinking about where I've gone wrong in my life and where I've gone right as well. I'm not just sitting here like, oh no, I shouldn't have did this. I'm thinking about my life, and I'm realizing things that I could learn from that, and like I want to pass that on to you guys. And that's why whenever I talk about this, I try to make sure that I say, like, remain in control of your life. Don't fuck around and like end up on the hook of some narcissistic sociopath who like will start a business, and they'll bring you in to do one thing for an hour a week, and then before you know it, you're doing three things for an hour each per week, and then before you know it, you're doing basically everything for the fucking guy for the entire week, while he is off doing whatever the hell he feels like, because that's how narcissists do their shit. Like don't fall into that kind of situation, because I've been in it many a time. I've made plenty of mistakes in who I was allowing to be around me. I was not discerning enough. So be very careful to not fall into the trap of, oh, this guy was nice to me for 5 minutes and he says that he wants some help with something. Yeah, I'll help him out. Oh, he says, since I'm here, why don't I do this too? I mean, okay, I didn't really sign up for that, but I guess I can do it this one time. Oh, now he's asking if I'm going to be around tomorrow too. And I show up tomorrow, and at that point, he isn't even asking me if I'm going to be around. At the end of it, he's just like, all right, see you tomorrow. You know, like those kinds of guys, Oh, excuse me. 270,000 likes and 7 million views on a Twitter post. Greatest of all time. Thank you very much, Squid Ink. I appreciate that. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in, dude. But yeah, like everybody thinks they can write a book. Everybody thinks they would write a book that would be useful. But like, if I had to write a book, there's two things that I would do. One of them would be a novel about some things that happened in my early 20s that I'm gonna start talking about on my Patreon. Shill alert. If you wanna listen to the distant political shit in my Patreon, I'm gonna start talking a little bit about that soon. But then in addition to that, I would also write a book on how to spot and how to avoid or counter narcissists, sociopaths, whatever you would call them, just people like that, those types of people who you're just like, those types of people who like, they're just slimy, scummy pieces of shit, oh, excuse me. Man, working full time with kids will do that to anyone. Exactly, But the thing is, like, I'm working full time, obviously, right? But I don't have kids, and that's what bothers me about it, is that it's not like I'm working full time and taking care of my kids. No, 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 no. I'm working full time, and then I have to take care of other people's shit for them. And it doesn't even pay me enough as to where I'm comfortable having kids in the state of Massachusetts. That's why I'm planning on getting the fuck out of here. I need to move to a place where you can survive a little bit better, And then it'll be like, all right, we're here, great. Let's start pumping them out, Narcissists suck so bad. Yeah, and it's not even worth it to try and talk to them about anything, It's better to just be like, oh, it's one of those guys. Oh, all right, I'm never talking to this fucking guy again. Don't. And the thing is, I was prone to being taken advantage of by narcissists because I didn't experience a lot of love growing up. And because of that, I was really easy to manipulate because all you had to do was be a little bit nice to me, and I'd be like, I'm ready to die for this person, you know? Like obviously not literally that, but if you were kind to me, and it's still this way, but I'm a lot healthier with it. I'm a lot better with it. I'm not like crazy about it or anything like that, you know? Like I still really appreciate Harley Morenstein for what he did with his video. I appreciate Brandon Buckingham, and things like that. But also there's a line where it's like if Brandon hit me up and was like, "Yo, dude, fucking, oh, dude, yo, I know you're in Massachusetts, but like I need help moving." I'd be like, "Hey man, why don't you hire a moving company? You are a very successful YouTuber after all." You know, like I wouldn't be quick to be like, "Oh, dude, like, can I make this work?" Even though I know I couldn't. Like, "Oh, dude, can I make this work? Can I? Can I make this work? Can I?" You know, I'm a lot better at asserting myself and being like, "Nah, I ain't trying to do that." You know, but like before, it would be like someone would do something nice for me and I'd end up on their hook because that one thing that they did for me that was nice, I'd be like, "Oh, dude, but like they did something nice to me, dude." You know, they did something nice for me, dude. I got to listen to them, dude. Oh, but dude, this guy cares about me. He bought me a beer. It's like, fuck, dude. No. Anyway, is Snoopy actually gaining weight, or is it just a pot belly? No, he's definitely gaining weight. It is 100%. Joe Butt Slasher says, "Come to Brazil." That is on the docket. If we go to the places that we are thinking of, and I don't mean literally like hop around from one place to the next down the list, we're going to pick one of the places that we're considering moving to in the United States. And if that doesn't work, I'm probably going to be streaming from Brazil at some point. You know, that's probably just what's going to end up happening. It's you know, hey, it is what it is. But um, come to the Congo, mad cheap. That's another option. Oh, excuse me. Oh man. Um, lot of bugs and dirt if you're into that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, Brazil, specifically where my wife is, they have scorpions. Like you have to bang your shoes out to make sure you don't put your foot in and a scorpion stings you. That's like crazy to me. And they're like that big, I guess. And dude, the biggest spiders we get are probably about that big, right? That's a huge spider in Massachusetts. I'm sitting here talking to my wife and I'm like, "Yo, I've seen the spiders you get down there. I don't know why anyone would live there. Like you get spiders that are like this big down there." Um and she's like, "Oh, that's in the Amazons though. Like you don't have to worry about that. I mean, the only ones we get in Brasilia are like that big." She shows me that and I'm like, "That's fucking gigantic. Are you kidding me?" If like I look up into the corner of a room and I see a spider web and the spider's that big, dude, I'm not sleeping that night. I don't even like, when you're so you got the heebie-jeebies to the point where you can't even sit down. You feel like you have to stand up and like constantly like like that's what's going to happen, you know? But I'd have to get over it, obviously. Anyway, I'm gonna play a game of AOE of Age of Empires, just checking because potbelly can look like weight gain, and it's a symptom of roundworms. You know, I should actually check that out because, I mean, what other symptoms of roundworms are there though? That's a anonymous conservative has written a lot about narcissists in his life in general. You'll probably like his blog, Scott. I'll check that out too. I'm gonna type that in anonymous conservative. Conservative. Uh, all right, and then but yeah, I'd like to talk about him because like people think of people with those personality disorders and stuff like that. There's a certain enigma to them, but if you're around them enough, you realize just how fucking stupid and predictable they all are. You know, like hold on. What was I? Oh yeah, roundworms dog. Anyway, um, like these people are driven by pretty much one thing and one thing only, and that is um that is praise, that is the validation or the affirmation of the self via external gratitude or admiration and things like that, you know. um so it becomes really, really easy to understand them. It becomes really easy to predict the type of shit that they do. And in fact, hold on one second. Baby, you can send me a voice message. It's fine. You don't have to get up and come in, but I'm just curious, right? I've talked to you about the narcissists that I've met throughout my life, right? And you know some of them. How many times have I come home and been like, oh, hey, he's going to do this in a week or two. And sure enough, in a week or two, bang, he does whatever I predict. I'm hoping my wife will get back to me on that. I'm hoping she will. I don't know if she will. You know, she might be. She's chilling with her sister and her mom right now, so she might not be, you know, like paying close attention to her phone or anything like that. Plus, you know, I ain't gonna bother her like that. For some reason, it's not sending or whatever, you know. Um, Pot belly, not gaining weight, poor coat, increased appetite are roundworm symptoms. Got a new job as a desk guy at a vet, so I'm learning up on some things. Yeah, I don't think any of the other stuff is you know, I should get rid of that. I don't think any of the other stuff is what's going on, but I could be wrong. You know, I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, hold on. Oh, hey. So I sent you a voice message. I don't know if you saw it, and that's why you came in here or not. Okay, so I'm just asking how, like, I've talked about some of the people in my life that are like narcissists and like other like weird dark triad shit before. How often do I come home and I'm like, "Hey, Joey said this today. I have a feeling he's probably going to do this next week," or like, "Oh, hey, this is happening here. I guarantee you this is how it's going to go down." How often have I done that, and how often have I been right about it?
A lot.
A lot, like
A lot.
like a crazy amount, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not psychic. Obviously not.
No.
Yeah. It's just that's how easy it is. One, like people think narcissists and sociopaths and all these other people, they think they're like an enigma. Oh man, dude, you never know the inner machinations of their mind. No, if anything, they're extremely simple to the point where you can manipulate them. I have done so much manipulation on these people. I've literally like I've told you my methodology for manipulating them,
Yes.
and I've told you like for instance one of the things, right, with these guys, what happens, some of them anyway. There's this one guy, right, where I go to him and I say, hey, why don't we do it's tough. Oh yeah, like I might go there and say like, hey, why don't we buy blue pens, because blue pens are going to be the best thing for this thing that we want to do. And he'll be like, no, 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 we're going to do red pens instead. We're going to end up getting blue pens. I just had to plant that blue pen idea in his head by mentioning it to him once. But what's going to happen is he's going to give a fuck about the red pens for as long as he feels like he's getting something out of it, so that he can be like, yeah, I bought the red pens. I bought the red pens. Haha, I'm Mr. Red Pen. I got the red pens. That's me. That's me. As soon as he grows bored, he's going to hit me up and be like, yeah, so we're buying blue pens. That's the type of shit that goes down. You know, like that's one of the ways that I'll manipulate. I'll simply plant an idea, not even like in some weird super duper like puppet master way. It's just like I know that all I have to do is go, hey, we should buy blue pens. Here's why. And the guy's going to be like, oh, no, no, no. And then it just, I don't have to bring it up again. I won't I won't bring it up again. Within a week or two, we're going to get the blue pens, right? There's other things that I'll do if need be, but like that's just like the most base level of like, okay, this is how you have to operate with somebody like this, you know? Because since it's your idea, they're going to be like, well, he's not as great as me. I have an idea. But then eventually he's going to get bored of that idea because all of the praise has been squeezed out like juice from an orange or a lemon or something like that. And because all of the attention, all of the praise, all of the anything that they wanted is not available to them anymore, they simply don't care. So they're going to be like, all right, yeah, go ahead and take it. You know? That's the type of shit that happens. Excuse me. Walk into the room and sound off an air horn and say, babe, why are you ignoring me? I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, I crossed the 1,000 threshold. Ooh, and a 51% win rate. Ooh, I'm excited about that one. Nice. Happy about that one for sure. Um, um, my dad was kidnapped and robbed in the streets of Brazil. It's really a great place to be. I'm sure it is. My wife was robbed twice, and when I first met her, I was like, "Isn't there a lot of crime in Brazil?" And she was like, "Oh, there's not that much. I've only been robbed twice." And she said it like not as a joke. It was not a joke. She was serious, and I was just like, "Wow," you know. Um, man. Uh, Sorry, I'm just looking around right now. Oh, duh, I haven't actually tried to find a map. I haven't started the matchmaking yet. Silly me, silly me. I'm a silly boy. I'm just a silly little goose. That's what I am. I'm a silly little goose. Dessa primeira toana. I'm trying to learn more Portuguese as time goes on, and I'm getting a lot better at it. Like a lot better at it. Considering this is a language that I didn't know any of 5 years ago, and I really only started giving that much of a fuck about in terms of like learning it over the last like couple of years. I'm starting to get really good with my Portuguese, but one of the things that I'm doing is trying my best to learn song lyrics, you know, and I'm obsessing about this one song, Bohemians. I'm gonna have to make sure I am very aggressive with this guy. There's a song though I would highly recommend it. It's called Vigidal, Vigidal. It's by this guy named Wiu, Wiu. Like Brazilian music is really good. I would highly recommend you get into it if you're someone who doesn't mind not being able to understand every little thing that they say. The vibe is there. The vibe is there. You know, um, and it's really good music. You know. No, no follow pork of cheese, pork of cheese. Yeah. How about I'm buying brown colored pencils? That's throw them for a loop. Be like, oh yeah, you think you're buying red? Well, I already bought brown. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be really aggressive with this guy though. I gotta find out where he's at, and I gotta park a castle right up on his ass because um, if I don't do that, he's gonna have gunpowder early. You know, he gets castle age gunpowder, which really is not good for me at all. You know, I need to make sure that I can raid him with my Wody boys before he can get anything that you know. Uh, the only Brazilian rapper I know is Slimy Cito. I don't know if that's how you say his name. I've never heard of him before. There's some crazy ass music in Brazil too though, like some weird shit. Like there's a there's a guy he's a funkero. They call him funkeros, right? Or funkero. But his name is MC Bin Laden. That's his name. That's his rap name, if you will. MC Bin Laden. Should I get into Forge Lloyd says, should I get into boxing if it's around exclusively black people only? Yeah, why not? You know, like you're gonna find that people in boxing gyms can usually be pretty chill regardless of like, whatever hangups you may or may not have. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get guys who don't have egos and stuff like that. Or it doesn't mean you're not going to get guys who have egos. You definitely will. And even some of the guys that you're like, oh, I think this guy is cool, I like him, they'll have egos too. That's just the way it is. But there's like, don't let that be the reason you don't get into boxing if you really want to get into boxing, because you'll find that since you're going to the same gym, everybody kind of they tend to anyway. They tend to treat it like a team environment in a certain sense. Everybody wants to see you do well, and you're gonna want to see your boys do well too. It's like it's like me. I'm politically aware. I'm aware of a lot of differences between me and other people, and I'm aware of the political nature of a lot of these differences. But I would never, under any circumstances, treat anybody differently or like allow our differences to get in the way of that in the first place. Even if I think somebody might allow that to come in between me and them, it's like I see people, because I teach. I talked about this a few streams ago because somebody asked me about like white people and racial identity and shit like that. Like, um, I teach kids of all races, religions, and creeds, and I love the hell out of those kids, regardless of that. Um, and I have a certain respect and love for even their parents, even though I can see some resentment in some of these parents. Not all of them, not even close to all of them. Like, regardless of who thinks or feels what, most of the parents that I see, I know that they don't have anything like that towards me. But I do every now and again see a parent that I know has a bit of an issue with me based off of my religion. Well, I don't know, maybe my religion, but my race or my ethnicity or whatever. It does happen on occasion. I do notice it, and that doesn't mean I'm gonna treat their child differently or anything like that. Like, I'm gonna treat their child just like I would treat any other kid in the place, and I'm gonna try to make them succeed, because even with those hangups, at the end of the day, the fact that they would bring their child to me in the first place just shows that they are working through that hangup, and that it does not matter to them to the point where they're gonna be like, oh well, no, we're gonna take them to a black coach, for instance, because we want to support black people or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it makes sense what I'm trying to say. Like, just the fact that they would bring their child to me in the first place speaks volumes as to where their head is at, where even if they have those hangups that I keep talking about, they're not going to allow it to get in the way. And that right there should say it all. And like, to bring it back to what you were saying, Mr. Lloyd, um like, just get your ass in there, man, because you're gonna find that people are people at the end of the day, even if there are like differences among us, and sometimes those differences from a political standpoint are a little noticeable and a little uncomfortable. At the end of the day, everybody's there to box, so at least you have that in common. um Alex Jones drunk as a skunk in this debate. Oh, dude, I forgot the Alex Jones. After this game, we'll tune in and we'll watch a little bit of the Alex Jones Nick Fuentes debate, because that does sound like a hoot. That sounds like a hoot, a holler, a laugh, a gaff, a giraffe. Fumando uno poderoso do Vidigal. Y lembrando a flotao. Bada bing. Oh, bada boom, bang, 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 bang. But yeah, like, don't get political brain, And this is, I'm not just talking to you, Forge Lloyd. I'm talking about anybody and everybody all the time. Like, don't get political brain to the point that you can't be around somebody because they're different from you on that level. Even if you are aware of some of the differences in the world and the political implications of those differences, It's important that you don't become cynical in a way that's going to close you off from new opportunities and new people and other shit like that. I just remembered I have to go there, but um, oh, bang, bang. Oh, come on, tell me I'm gonna get him. Ah, I got him. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Yes, let's go here as well. Um, yeah, like I talked about this recently though, as well. Like a few, even if you do notice, don't let anyone know exactly Heath Holloway, exactly, you know. And I was gonna say like, I was what was oh, that's not even worth it. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say like one thing that I can't stand about the world today is that everybody is cynical to the point where they will mistreat people who mean them no harm. They'll find some poor excuse like this dude's lame or like dude, like he's, you know, he doesn't have this or he doesn't wear that or whatever. It's important for you to not become cynical in that way because it's real easy as a defense mechanism because you are a weak person and you feel insecure, which is like that's such a boomerism. Like, oh, he only bullies you because he feels insecure, but there is a truth to it. It's real easy for a lot of people today as a defense mechanism to play offense with their insecurities and things like that. They will become bad people. Um, they will become aggressive, and I don't just mean physically aggressive though. Sometimes they will become aggressive in a way that's like, even though you've done absolutely nothing to them, they'll like start making fun of you. They'll start trying to fuck with you and things like that. Um, you know, and that exists a lot in the world today that we live in, and it's a very unfortunate thing. Ooh, okay. I gotta get my ass down there as soon as I can. But I yeah, fuck it. I'll be all right. Anyway, it's unfortunate that people have started to do that. It's unfortunate that the world has become that where like people down each other because um you know, because they're mad about something that happened to them or because they just refuse to trust people or other stuff like that, you know? Like am I perfect? I'm definitely not. But if there's one thing that absolutely positively will make me never want to be around you, it's if I come to you and I show love, you know? I show real love. I genuinely um care about you or what you're going through or what you're doing. I want to help you to make that better than it would be if you didn't have my help and things like that. Whether you even need my help or not, like just the idea that I would offer in the first place is like a big thing to me. Where it's like, oh, like I'm saying, hey, I want to help you out. Like, you know, like I don't waste my time on people that I don't want to be around. And the fact that I'm saying, yeah, I want to help you means I want to be around you. And when that love, forget about not being reciprocated, when that love is, you know what? Yeah, I need desperately to. This is not necessarily. I don't think this is very good because he is. Wait, what are you guys doing? Anyway, this is not really that good for the fact that. All right. First off, there we go. First off, second off. Oh, dude, really? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, dude, what in the fuck, man? I can't get these guys. I can't get these guys to do what I need them to do. All right, perfect. Fucking perfect. Get your dumbasses back in there. All right. This is not going good for me right now, if we're being honest here. Could be going better. Could be going better. I also need you idiots to get your asses there, and then just in case, I'm gonna go here. I'm also gonna go there because I need to make sure he can't get his gunpowder out, because gunpowder, it. Oh my gosh, dude, really? Bang, bang, idiots, get in there. You know, I can finish this point. I can finish this point in a minute. You see, that's exactly what I was afraid of, but he's not gonna have enough anyway. It's not gonna matter. Because I have enough. I have enough. Oh no, actually, you guys get your asses in there. That's another thing too, is that these guys are not very good. When it comes to taking down, when it comes to taking down these bad Larrys, the Rams, excuse me, these guys are not very good for it, you know. So I'll go ahead and I'll destroy, not destroy, but I'll take out these guys real quick. Except for you, you guys are gonna go there. Oh man, that actually was not the best. I got to keep this push going. I can't even go back and yes, perfect, 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 perfect. You idiots, get back in there. Um. All right. Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying with that, right? I know I can finish it now. You know, we've stabilized just enough. Yeah, get your asses over there, you fucking idiots. Anyway, I want to see. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna send these guys back. These guys should have went back there, but unfortunately that didn't quite work. Yes, yes, indeedy. Gonna go here as well. Let's see if I can't. I can't. I literally cannot. I got him a little bit, but anyway, like when I give somebody love, I act. Oh fuck, damn, I'm stupid. I am fucking dumb. I need to get these. I need desperately to get these because I need them bad. You know. Yeah. Okay. So we're good there. Anyway, when I show somebody love, I really mean that. You know, and like dude, that's so fucking annoying. You see, he's just gonna micro the fuck out of those guys, which is really stupid and annoying, you know? I mean, it is what it is. He's just playing the way that he feels he has to. Nah, you know what? Actually, fuck that. I want more of these bad boys. That's where we're gonna go. Yeah, you see, there's actually a really good chance that he could win this just for the fact that I am not exactly where I need to be. Um, you know, with this shit, you know? I need to build one of these. I need to try my best to get more gold stuff. Uh, don't keep such an open mind that your brain falls out. I don't know. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Heath Holloway. I think there's a difference between what you're describing and I think there's a difference between what you're describing and mm-hmm. That's yep. That's doing wonders. That's doing wonders. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I needed. So what I need to do is there's a difference between keeping that level of open mind and yeah. There's a difference between keeping that level of open mind and just being like a fucking asshole. You know, is kind of what I'm getting at. And a lot of people they have a hard time with that sort of thing. All right, what are you doing? Get your ass over there. There. All right. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to build a. He's trying to build something to help himself out here. He's trying to. He's walling behind it, which is a good move on his part, and that's why he's in good shape comparatively. You know. All right, whatever. I need to stop sacrificing these guys in the way that I am. I need to mass these guys. Oh, interesting. That's real cute. That's real fucking cute. Um, all right, so I need to go all the way around. I need to go here. Damn. Yeah, I ain't really that worried about it right this second. Although, it might not be a bad idea for me to set up a castle there just to... Yeah, you know what? I should set up a castle here. Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll go about here. Oh, duh. I'm sitting here operating without double bit axe. See if I can't. Yep. That'll be good there. Just a little bit. Um, hmm. Yeah, that's not exactly the best, but what I can do instead is go there. Oh, damn, no, I can't. Oh, well, so you three are gonna go there. Yeah, this definitely ain't good, but that's okay. It's not like that bad. It's just annoying more so. Um, did I not? Yeah. Oh, no. Yep, he got him. I'm not that worried about it though, because like as far as everything goes, those things are more annoying than anything, you know? Like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to get stone anymore, boo-hoo. You know, I'm still gonna be able to get everything else I need pretty much for the most part. It's just you're gonna have bullshit like that happening, which is like again, like, oh well, whatever, you know? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I didn't make that push good enough, you know, which like I could still win this, but also I'll be honest with you. You see, I always thought that was kind of bullshit. You shouldn't be able to do that like now that's fucking foolish, you know. I don't think that is like that's just such a stupid thing being able to pick apart one of these so easily with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What like 14 of those fucking things? It's like nah. That's kind of a crock of shit if we're being honest here, you know. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Let's see what he had around here. Yeah, so he boomed behind this. Anyway, Yeah, so he boomed behind this, which is what he needed to do, right? But then me, because he was able to get here first, it kind of put me in a weird situation, you know? Where like he didn't even really like boom. Like I could have came back from this, but it's like I said, I didn't really feel like fighting that much. Anyway, um, hmm, anyway, I got better things to do than to talk shit to some fucking loser. Um, oh man. But yeah, it's like those are the ones that are annoying. Is like when somebody wins because of like quirks in the system. It's like he did good walling and keeping me away from his other TC, and me like I just sputtered out enough as to where he was able to mount that, and I just got to a point where I was like, honestly, bro, like whatever. Even if I could win this, which I still think I could, it'd be such a pain in the ass, and I'd rather be talking to you guys, you know? I'd rather be talking to you guys than like sitting here like fucking like fighting for my life on this or something like that, you know? Whoa. You've never said KYS to somebody on a game before? Joe Butt Slasher? Oh, you're joking around. Yeah. Yeah, I almost wanted to rematch the guy, but it's also like rematches don't go for elo, so it's like whatever. Just take your fucking internet points and go do whatever other dumb shit you're doing with your night. You're probably gonna play another one of these games because it matters that much to you, you know. Um, but yeah, anyway. Um, what was I gonna say? I'm trying. Oh yeah. Yeah, games like it's like I said though, games like that piss me off because like I definitely could have won that. Like that guy should have 100% lost. He deserved to lose. It's just that my eco sputtered out in a way that was like, oh fuck, I got to try and boom now. And then it's like I said, there's certain things like I think gunpowder needs to be nerfed in that way where you shouldn't be able to send like 12 fucking hand cannoneers to knock down a wall and then stand outside of the zone of a TC and knock that thing down almost as quick as four rams which are specifically designed for that sort of thing would do that. You shouldn't like that should not be allowed. You know, that's like a weird annoying thing, you know? Um, the only online game I've ever enjoyed was CS:GO. Yeah, I played a little CS2 a while ago. It was fun. You know, I had a good time with it. Anyway, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes. Um, I don't see a live. Where's the thing? I'm curious. Or is it on Twitter? Oh no, that's Twitch. Oh wait, duh. I'm typing in Twitter, wondering why it ain't working. Yes, here it is. I believe. Yes, indeed.
Patriot is pissed about the Epstein files because it's indefensible. I mean, we've all seen it. We all know what it is.
Hello.
It's literally indefensible the way it's been handled. And all they can bring
Oh,
themselves to say about it is these talking points about, oh, well, Trump kicked Epstein out of his club. Oh, well, it's a Democrat thing. Oh, it's five Democrats.
so are they explicitly arguing about Trump, or are they arguing about the Epstein files? I'm curious about this.
Or something like influenceable or something like that. And people should take note of who's defending this.
No, I agree, but
They
just be
lost a lot of
clear,
credibility.
I'm just trying to figure out a way out of this and wargaming it. But it looks progressively worse
But
every day. And then I just ask myself, why did Trump have to destroy himself on this hill? There's not evidence. And that's the big question. That is the big question. All right, Nick's been very nice to this interview, this debate. and I want to let him go soon. The crew's been here since 6 a.m. So let's go ahead and take a few phone calls. We'll move quickly. Your questions or comments for Nick Fuentes, Nick J. Fuentes on Rumble and on X. I'm the real Alex Jones. But this is integrity, folks. We're wargaming it. There's not a script. We're trying to figure this out. I feel like it's awake, actually. I mean, I'm horrified. I just have nothing else to say other than I just, my God, if Trump doesn't start indicting people, if they don't release the Epstein files very soon, then it is going against my own personal interest. These Democrats I know are evil, want to put me in prison, but I cannot join with something that's a lesser evil. So I have my guts torn out my ass right now, but I've got to tell the truth, and I am. All right, let's go to Ethan in Alabama. You're on the air. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Go ahead.
Yes.
I don't know what to
forgive
say.
me a little bit. I'm a little nervous because you guys are both my inspirations, especially Nick. I just recently became a Goiper. I don't mean to take y'all time, but
dude, really?
Stop apologizing. You're on the air.
I just became a Groiper.
My question to you, Alex, was if Nick were by chance to start a Goiper war against like the Trump movement, would you be a part of the movement? Because I'm getting tired of these Judeo-Catholics, Judeo-Christians in the office hating our government.
I just became a Groiper.
Respond to that.
I don't mean to take up too much of your time. I'm a Groiper.
And said this is BS within hours of it breaking. And I've tried to figure it out since. So I am at war with the Republican establishment trying to control Trump. So it's not, I would, if Nick launched some war against
Alex
something
Fuentes and Nick
has,
Jones.
I would then gauge it and say, do I agree with it? He kind of already did it. So I think you're kind of like behind the curve here. I think we're already here, and we're saying we want to get Trump steered back. Can he be salvaged? We're having a discussion about this. We know the Democrats are pure evil. Is that a fair statement, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. We are and have been at war with Trump for a long time. And, you know, I think that
Well,
if you watch your show,
you go to war with the Junior Catholic?
It's like, holy fuck, man. Like, say what you want about Fuentes, right? Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with him or anything like that, like, he's just got the dweebiest fan base, and I'm sorry. I know there's a Groiper or two that follows me on Twitter and stuff like that, but man, it's crazy how it's just the dweebiest fucking kids. And like not even like, oh, I'm strong but I'm dumb. Not like I'm weak but I'm smart. It's like, no, I'm weak and I am fucking stupid. You know? And it's like again, I'm not even saying I agree or disagree with Nick Fuentes. It's just like a lot of Groipers, they sound exactly like that. Like, are you gonna go to war with the Junior Catholic and it's like, holy fuck, man. Can we have anybody, like, even Nick? Like, I know I just spoke over him, but if you listen to him,
Exactly.
So is Trump gut level?
Like, there's a certain masculinity to his voice. He's not like dweeby or anything like that, you know? He's obviously not like jacked as fuck. He's not in the best physical shape of anybody you've ever seen. Not that I am myself, but like, he's at least, he's put together, you know? He's put together and he knows where he is, you know? And he isn't just repeating buzzwords because he's like, the enemy is the Judeo-Catholic, the Judeo-Christians, he's not just repeating buzzwords. He's actually like, he knows where he is, you know?
No, we're in this. We want to see positive change. And if Trump isn't going to do it, we'll carry it forward without him. That's got to be the message.
Exactly. I'm not rooting against Trump. I'm horrified. And you're right to say that I've tried the gymnastics war game it, but I've been honest, I don't know. And I'm just disgusted. Johnny in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Have you got me?
Yes, I got you, Johnny. Go ahead.
All right, look, I'm going to tell you all what kind of outstanding job you both did. But I'm just going to say this point blank to Nick Fuentes. It's just like when Christ picked up that stone and said, cast the one first stone.
Should I call in and heckle?
I'm a Christian. I'm saying that because that's a fact and it happened. The only thing I can say is that Trump's going to have a come to Jesus moment, and he's going to pick up a stone and say, y'all throw the first stone at whoever's guilty. Other than that, we don't build our nation upon hatred. We try to work with what we got.
And this guy is like as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, all right, I want to give this guy a chance to speak, but this is exactly the kind of guy that I would expect to call into Alex Jones as an Alex Jones supporter. You know? It's like, holy fuck, man.
I don't know that applies. I mean, if they're all guilty of this, then they all got to go. You know what I mean? Like, we could say the Democrats are hypocrites, but then we could say Trump is a hypocrite.
No, I agree, but how do they use Epstein on him when they're confirmed involved?
Yeah, again, I think it depends on what's in the files, which we don't know. But at the same time, Trump runs the DOJ, so the onus is on him. You know, I mean, I'm really just not interested in that. When people say Democrats and Republicans, I say you're repeating yourself. You're talking about the same people. So, people want to make it about the Republicans versus the Democrats. And, I
agree. What do you
totally
make
get
of
what
Mike
you're saying.
Johnson and Senator Thune trying to block and have fake congressional resets so Trump doesn't get his nominees?
I don't know what game they're playing with that. I think that that's leverage they have against Trump. I think that Mike Johnson's more loyal to Trump.
That Trump's actually weak that they're doing that.
Right. I think that I don't know about that necessarily. I think that Johnson's doing it on Trump's behalf. He's covering it up for Trump.
So you think he's doing a reset to cover it up?
I do. I think John Thune wants leverage against Trump. Trump and Thune are not aligned, but I think Johnson's covering it up on his behalf.
See, I'm not into politics on the level that these guys are, so it's like I don't even know who half these names are. I do got to get out of here though. I appreciate. Let's hold on. Let's play the game. Groyper or Jones?
It's about exposing the people that rape children for
This is Groyper. This is Groyper.
Unfortunately, we live in a post-constitutional era, and right now it's the legislative branch and the sociopathic control oligarchs from
control oligarchs. Oh boy.
Deep embeds in the FBI, CIA that are ruining our republic. So I don't think that MAGA base is walking away from President Trump. Because we're not ideologues. A single issue, whether the FBI is slow walking this or the DOJ is slow walking this, is not going to prevent us from supporting the MAGA movement, which is way bigger than President Trump. It's about we the people. The coup against President Trump in 16 and 20 and the one against President Biden puppet in 2024 was not against those three figureheads. It was against we the people. So we will.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting, like I said, like there's something about politics that to some degree, like it's kind of like feminine gossip and things like that. And when I start hearing names that I don't recognize, I'm immediately just like, oh, fucking here we go, Like, obviously, I agree the Epstein files are very important, and like Trump should not bury them. And it makes you wonder about Trump, the fact that he has buried them. But overall, like, I don't know who Johnson is. I don't know who, like, any of the other people. Was that even a name, or am I just misremembering a name they said? I don't know who is who or what is what, and I am, frankly, not even that interested. So, yeah. Thank you guys for popping in. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. I am going to head on out. I will be streaming tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. EST with Aria from Fish Tank Live Season 4. Yes, Season 4. For some reason, I almost said 5, and then I was like, no, it was 4. No, it was 5, wasn't it? No, Season 5 hasn't happened yet. But, yeah, so stay tuned for that, okay? I'm really excited for that. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.